This was requested by Fire Squad Recoil. This is Joyner Lucas, I'm Sorry. So let's get it.
Go ahead and call me a coward, say that I'm not strong because I'm not like you. Go ahead and call me crazy because I live in a maze. Tell me, how about you? I think I live in my head. Sometimes I think that I'm dead. I hide behind my youth. No, I've been losing my mind and I'm a little behind. Step aside my shoes, cause I never been happy with myself. And I don't need no one feeling bad for me, trying to offer me pity and throw jabs at me. Wanna give me advice and then laugh at me behind closed doors. Just close the door and let me be by myself. Just me and myself. I'm tired of living, I cry. I hear it's easy to die, I wanna see for myself. And I know that sounds crazy to everyone else, but I'm depressed as fuck, stressed as fuck. Ain't no medicine that can cure what's intense as drugs. I need extra love, and that ain't even enough. So that ain't even enough, and where the fuck is God? Damn, maybe I ain't believing enough, but today we gonna see if he's real. And if he is, then I guess I'm probably going to hell. Look, I ain't wanna die like this. I ain't picture my life like this. They don't know what it's like this. Pretending I'm happy so I can smile like this and laugh like you. Sometimes I wonder if I ever act like you. Could I finally fit in and maybe relax like, ooh.
This is a lot. This is a lot. This is perfectly poignantly placed on paper. The way that Joyner came at this was perfect, because the arguments that I've had with a lot of suicidal patients, he's already curbed them. First, I do bring up religion. If they are religious, I say it's wrong. It goes against everything that, you know, religion teaches and what you believe in. If they have family, I say, well, what about your family? Everything that he's saying, but look at the stress that this person is under. I almost said patient. They're at their very, very worst. They're at their desperate. They're done. They've had it. Statistically, men are always more apt to commit or hurt themselves. I don't really want to throw that out there, but there's lots of facts out there, and bottom line is to find the help, to get the help that is needed. I love how Joyner Lucas put the number right there as the album, you know, as the album title is the number. What he's saying is not unlikely. We all feel this at one time or another. But the thing is to keep getting up, is to keep fighting it, is to stop with these feelings. What I don't like is social media plays on these people. They, you know, to laugh behind somebody's back. What kind of wicked person is that? I would never do that. No matter what people think, I don't go behind closed doors and laugh at people for telling me their sad stories. I don't tell my husband or tell my friends or... No. Once you tell me, it's pretty much like as if it's vanished once it goes into my mind, and a lot of times it does. And that's how it should be with everyone. These are horrible, horrible, horrible feelings, and sometimes it feels like you can't get out. I honestly believe in speaking to a physician every single time. No matter how minute you think it is, no matter how much you think you can't afford it, you can't afford to do this to yourself. You cannot. Because what if you think you're going to die and you survive? And you severely damage yourself. That is not something you can afford, I promise you that.
Could I finally fit in and maybe relax like, ooh? Or would you feel lost without me? Cause honestly, I think the world is better off without me, and my mind's spinning. This is the line finish. Truth is, I don't care how they feel about my feelings. I made up my mind. I'm going out like Robin Williams. I guess I'm not the ordinary people of John Legend, and I've been suicidal since the day I was 9. Shit. Okay, the day I was 9. I've been tired of being bullied, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told me I should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at me now. Fuck. Pen running out. Shit. Look, just know it's a new day, but if you're reading this, then it's probably too late. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. Sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me.
I was trying to look up these lyrics really fast before I had to pause it, but I didn't make it. How many of you guys have been to a funeral where you just can't stop crying? Or you just feel like you're never going to smile again? Or you think that this is some horrible nightmare that you're never going to wake up from? We've all experienced that at one time. That's so sad. This is so sad. We can say everything that we want to say, but we haven't walked a mile in that person's shoes. And we can call them a coward, and we can think what we want to think. And I hate to bring up my own personal tragedies and things like this. I'll try to make it quick though. It's probably the most relevant story that I have. My friend Jerry that I always talk about means more to me than anything. It's closer to me than my family. He's the one that helped me get out of a lot of dark places, because I had a lot of bad things happen to me. And it wasn't that I blamed the world, I just blamed my mom for everything. For giving me life, for bringing me into this world, for just, in my mind, not thinking about anybody but herself. So, I grew up knowing exactly what I had to do to survive. And I became very resentful. And I helped take care of my brothers and my sister. And I became very cynical. I didn't trust anybody, let alone my own mom. Moved out when I was 17. And I started to see the world for what it was, and I already knew it was a horrible place. So it was very easy for me to make it, because I treated it the way that I've always been treated. I used it the way it used me. And Jerry was always a family friend. He was more my mom's friend than mine. His wife actually was my mom's friend, and his wife was probably one of the worst people in the entire world. But me being little, I didn't know anything. Growing up, I could care less. The less adults or anybody was around me, the better. Well, let's just say that things didn't go exactly as planned at my uncle's house when I moved out. Too many cooks spoil the soup, I guess, is a good way to put it. And before I could move to Fresno, I just started to sleep in my own car. And that was very dangerous, but I did. And sometimes I'd sleep on the floor at my job. And I didn't feel sorry for myself, or I didn't cry or anything like that. I wasn't. Anything was better than going home. Anything was better than being around, my family. Anything. Not my brothers and my sister. They were wonderful, They're little. They didn't know any better, but just too much. So anyway, Jerry ended up giving me a job because things got really bad for my mom. Karma is what I'd like to say. Karma ended up getting her, and so she had to basically ask me to come back. Never told her what happened or anything. It just went on like everything was great and I had the best time of my life, and she ruined it all. But so I started working for Jerry, and I started thinking about maybe going into nursing, and he encouraged me. And then he started to see that I definitely had changed from when I was a little kid, and he would question me, and I'd give him short answers. And one day he had invited me over, and he talked to me because he remembered my dad. He also knew my stepdad. I told him, whatever he wanted to know, and I was very matter-of-fact about it. And he kind of knew, things, and it really upset him. And I told him what I thought, I just told him the truth. So, anyway, he helped me to get through a lot of things. I took care of Jerry for a long time. He got sick, really sick. He started having seizures. He fell on his head at a certain angle. He wasn't drunk, he wasn't on medication, but he fell at such a way that he should have been paralyzed or immediately in a coma. But he, through the blood, through confusion, disorientation, he made it back to his bed. The house looked like a crime scene. His hallway looked like a crime scene. And at that time, I had been sick with flu for at least a week. It was the worst flu I ever had. But usually I was always over there to go and see how I was doing. This was for 17 years. So on top of my job, during lunch, I'd be over there. On top of, no matter what was going on, I was always making sure that Jerry was okay. But at this time, I couldn't. So something was telling me something was wrong. I hadn't heard from him. He hadn't come over. I asked my mom to please go and check on Jerry, and my sister happened to be with her. Well, make a long story short, they found him completely, almost ghost white, and very, very much covered in blood. And it's not like we never seen him like that. He's one of those that always is bloody. And I had to argue with him during FaceTime to get in an ambulance to go to the VA, which is the Veterans Hospital. He refused. I think he was just kind of nervous that nobody would go and see him, which is kind of true. It was far away, about an hour and a half. I have to worry about my kids and all this, kind of my job, Last time they kept him there longer than he would have liked, but it was for his own good. Things got pretty bad, and he just didn't want to go to the hospital. I begged him, I cried and screamed, and told him that as soon as I got better, that I was going to take him to the doctor myself. So he actually went to the hospital here in town. They did nothing for him. They didn't take the right x-rays, they didn't take the right CT, they drew his blood to see if he was drunk or on drugs, and there was none of that. They didn't check his neck. they didn't, I mean, the best that they did was just sew up the gashes that he had on his arm and on his leg. And my husband went and picked him up and took him home. He was in agony for 2 weeks, and the neighbor came and brought him a neck brace. I didn't even fit him. So finally, he went to a private doctor whom he had worked for before. My brother happened to be the x-ray tech. He told my brother what was going on. The doctor came and told him exactly what his diagnosis was. That diagnosis frightened him more than anything, and a couple of days later, he took his own life. Because he knew nobody could fix it. It wasn't messy. The coroner knew him from since he was a little boy. He told me that he looked like he was asleep, and I said, yeah, I know, because I found him. Because I tried waking him up to tell him let's go, because I was going to take him to see a surgeon. Sometimes it really isn't your fault, even though it feels like it is and you didn't do enough. Then I worked harder, and I worked for patients that had cancer, a good family, and 5 of them died same year, and I almost had a breakdown. So I started this channel, and it's been a lot of help. So thanks, Fire Squad. No more sad anything. I mean it. I don't need this. I just want to be happy. It's not that I want to forget. I don't ever forget him. He's right over my shoulder. Yeah. I have some of his ashes.
What you wanted, I hope you finally happy. It's too late for you. Been going out of my mind. You don't know how many times that I done prayed for you. I hope you hear me, goddammit, cause I got so much shit that I wanna say to you. I used to shine, now I'm all in the dark. I remember I used to tell you to follow your heart, but goddammit, look at you now, it's all your fault. How could you? Maybe it's my fault. I should've paid more attention to what you been doing. Maybe I should've been more of an influence. I can't believe that you're dead. I read your letter and all I could do is have mixed feelings about it. But I'll forever be attached to you. Damn. Part of me feels bad for you. A part of me feel like you weak and I'm mad at you. And I don't mean to be insensitive, but I don't understand how we couldn't prevent this shit. You took.
This is how his daughter took it. I know this is gonna sound heartless, but his daughter wasn't around enough. Just left it on me, and plus his daughter was not in. I mean, she's always going to use her disability or whatever as a excuse. My family loved Jerry enough. We loved him. The reason why he took the way out was because He felt that not only could nobody fix him, he didn't want me to live out the rest of my life taking care of him. He loved me that much.
Took the easy way out. God damn it, you did. I mean, look what you did. I'm so fucking upset. How could you be so selfish? Nigga, how could you be so selfish? Now you're gone, you done left me so helpless. I wonder what God thinks. I hope you in God's place, behaving yourself. Yo, what the fuck you gotta say for yourself? Look, I really feel lost without you. I hate the fact you think the world is better off without you. On my mind spinning, this is the line finish. Truth is, I don't care how you feel about my feelings, and I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm fine. Listen, I know that you can hear me. All I need is like 5 minutes. I just want to reach inside the casket and pull you out. I'm sorry, this is something that we both couldn't figure out. I wish I could hear you now. Is your soul missing? I wonder if you could do it again. Would you do it different? Tell me what death is like. Was it meant for you, Brody? Did the heavens support it? Are you fucking happy now? Did you get what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted? I feel the temperature falling, and you've been suicidal back then, you were not. Yeah, even back then you was not. We was living on the edge, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told us we should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at you now. Shit. But it's a new day, and if you can't hear me, then it's probably too late. Fuck! Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. Sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. I'm sorry.
Seems like you guys just try to do this to me on purpose. So many things I want to tell you guys, but it's hard to do that. Jerry was the only cowboy I've ever known. He actually broke horses. He was the only racer I've ever known. He was the only redneck I ever knew. And then after that, then I started to recognize what rednecks were or are. And I already told you that story about how I asked my grandfather what rednecks were. Because I asked Jerry, what are you? You know, if you're not black, you're not Mexican, what are you? He said, little girl, I'm a redneck. Ask your grandfather what that is. Okay. I asked my grandfather. My grandpa put his beer down. He goes, oh my God. The only thing crazier than a redneck male is a redneck female. That made me laugh. Could be right. I don't think my grandfather would have said that if he had met Ryan Upchurch, though. Or seen what he's up to. And Ryan Upchurch and Jerry, so much alike, down to the boots. But not smoking and not chewing. Not bub. Nope. But everything else. How Ryan's a master at comedy, Jerry's a master at medicine. Fix anything. Make you well. Boy, but he's got a fiery temper. He can go to 0 to 1 second pissed. Color red. Could see the steam coming out of his ears. Everybody would be shaking in their boots and I'd just smile. I should be scared, but I'm never scared.
So much weighing on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much weighing on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. I'm sorry, it's too late. I'm sorry, so much weighing on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. I'm sorry, but I can't stay. I'm sorry, so much weighing on me.
There's the phone number. Don't do this to me again. I didn't know what I was getting into. You guys know I don't watch things before I react. So don't. Please.